What good do I have in my life that I can share with others? This is the question I asked myself when I first saw this assignment pop up on my screen. I sat for hours thinking about what I could share, and sometimes when you have your blinders on, you can't really see the good in your life. You block yourself from the happiness and don't realize what you do have. And that is exactly what I had been doing. But I took a different look at my situation and tried to think of those who are always there for me. And the one person that deserves the most is a person that lives less than 2 minutes away from me, and that person is my grandpa. He's the most strong-willed and humorous man I've ever met. He is a 6'3" man with the muscles of a bull, but he couldn't hurt a fly and he always puts his family first. And yet, in times of despair and guilt, he is still constant with his love. My grandpa is a family man. He is the youngest of 4 kids, and he is the father of 2 girls and the grandfather of 2 girls and 2 boys. We call him Poppy. When we were younger, we would come down to the small town of Velma, Oklahoma to visit him. His house would be stocked with coloring books and crayons, buckets of change for us to count, and endless hours of wide herb on the big box television. While all 4 of us were under the age of 10, we would find all these things unentertaining after a few hours. But there is only so much an 8-year-old can do in a small town, and he tried his best to keep us all happy when we were testing his patience. My Poppy also lived alone, so he enjoyed our company, but he never raised his voice, he never blew up, and he always listened to us. Looking back on those days, I understand why he is so strong-willed. He managed to keep 4 kids, all aged within 10 years of each other, happy and giggling. He learned how to put up with our tantrums and our bickering. And most important, he taught us all a tough situation should be handled like he did. And as I get older, I hope I gain those aspects from him so that when I get older, I can portray those characteristics to my kids. Compassion was something that my Poppy never failed to show. I can never figure out if it's the small town he grew up in or if it was how he just is. If anybody needs a helping hand, he is there. All of us grandkids do sports, and he has never failed to make it to all of our games and competitions. In the past, I've taken that for granted and ignored his presence because I was flustered on how I did. But he had always been there, cheering me on in the crowd, and never made me feel like I wasn't enough to be where I was. And he always is encouraging and enlightening, and he wants the best for everyone and nothing else. My grandpa is also a very inviting person. He will take care of those he cares for and will go out of his way to ensure they are safe and fully supported. In the past year, my mom, my sister, and I have had to jump home to home because of my parents divorcing. I stayed with my grandma for a few weeks and then moved to my Poppy's house and lived there for about 6 months. And that whole time, he made sure that my sister and I were comfortable in one room and fed, along with my mom. He always had food on the table and a smile to greet us at the door. Many people could learn something from his character and his compassion, and I've been challenging myself to be more happy like him and to show more compassion to others. And I hope that when he sees this video that he'll realize what he's done for me.